Welcome to TechSolutionZ. In this video, we're taking a full walkthrough of the Docker desktop interface on Windows. The goal here is not just to click around, but to understand what each section is for, why it exists, and when you actually need it. By the end, Docker Desktop should feel less like a control panel you avoid, and more like a dashboard you're comfortable opening every day. When Docker Desktop launches, the first thing to notice is the top blue bar. This is where Docker tells you its overall state. If the engine is running, you'll see that reflected down at the bottom as well. Think of the Docker engine as the heart of everything. If it's not running, containers, images, volumes, nothing works. Docker Desktop quietly manages this for you in the background using virtualization, so you don't have to think about it constantly. On the left side, you'll see the main navigation panel. This is where most of your time will be spent, so let's take it one section at a time. The Containers section is the live view of your system. This is where running containers appear, stopped containers remain visible, and where you can start, stop, restart, or remove them. If nothing is running yet, Docker Desktop keeps this area intentionally clean with learning hints in the center. Once you start real projects, this page becomes your mission control. Each container shows its name, status, image source, port mappings, and resource usage. From here, you can open logs, jump into a terminal inside the container, or stop it with a single click. This is one of Docker Desktop's biggest strengths compared to pure command line Docker. Right below that is Images. Images are the blueprints used to create containers. This page shows everything you've pulled or built locally. You'll see image names, tags, sizes, and when they were last used. Over time, unused images can pile up, so this section is also where cleanup becomes important. Docker Desktop makes pruning images much safer and more visual than typing removal commands blindly. Next is Volumes. Volumes are how containers keep data even when they're stopped or deleted. Databases, application state, configuration files, all of that lives here. This screen shows which volumes exist and which containers are using them. If containers are the workers, volumes are the memory. Docker Desktop doesn't encourage you to casually delete volumes, and that's a good thing, because this is where data loss usually happens. Then we have Kubernetes. This section is optional, and many users never enable it. If you're learning Kubernetes or testing deployments locally, Docker Desktop can run a single node cluster for you. If you don't need it, leaving it disabled keeps things lighter and faster. The key idea here is that Docker Desktop can grow with you, but it doesn't force complexity on day one. The Build section focuses on building images. This is where Docker Desktop integrates modern build systems and caching. For most beginners, this stays in the background, but as your projects grow, faster builds become a big deal. Docker Desktop quietly optimizes this without requiring you to understand every technical detail. You may also see Models or AI-related sections, depending on your version. These are newer additions and mostly experimental. They hint at where Docker is heading, not necessarily what you must use today. Extensions is another interesting area. Think of extensions as plugins for Docker Desktop. They add tools directly into the interface, like database viewers, monitoring dashboards, or security scanners. You don't need extensions to use Docker, but once you're comfortable, they can reduce the need for extra external tools. Now let's talk about the built-in terminal at the bottom. This terminal is directly connected to Docker Desktop's environment. It's perfect for running Docker commands without switching windows. If a command fails, the output here often explains why. For example, if you mistype a command or use the wrong flag, Docker tells you immediately. This makes it ideal for tutorials and demonstrations because viewers can see both the command and the result in one place. At the very bottom bar, Docker Desktop shows system resource usage. You'll see memory, CPU, and disk consumption. This is especially useful when troubleshooting performance issues. If containers feel slow, this bar often tells the story before logs do. Now let's briefly open the Settings area. This is where Docker Desktop connects to your system. Here you'll find resource limits, virtualization settings, file sharing paths, and networking options. On Windows, this is also where Docker integrates with WSL. If Docker ever fails to start, this section is usually where the fix lives. The key idea is simple. Docker Desktop abstracts complex system configuration into readable options. One thing worth mentioning is the learning content built into the interface. Docker Desktop includes short guides and examples right inside the app. These are not replacements for real projects, but they're excellent for first contact. They help bridge the gap between "I installed Docker" and "I actually understand what it does." As you spend more time with Docker Desktop, you'll notice a pattern. Everything visual here maps directly to a command line concept. Containers, images, volumes, networks all exist whether you use the UI or not. The interface doesn't replace knowledge, it accelerates understanding. The real power of Docker Desktop is confidence. It lets you experiment without fear. You can see what's running, stop it safely, inspect it visually, and clean up without guessing. That's why it's such a strong learning tool, especially on Windows. To wrap this up, Docker Desktop is not just a launcher for containers. It's a bridge between raw Docker commands and real-world workflows. Once you understand this interface, Docker stops feeling intimidating and starts feeling practical. That's the foundation. From here, running real projects, using Docker Compose, and managing multi-container setups becomes much easier, and that's where Docker Desktop truly earns its place on your system.